say that they know a good candidate for Father of the Year. Today I get to meet one. I'm here with David Keleher, the amazing father of Jackson, a boy who is determined and brave, and together they have defied the odds in every way with David's sacrificial love. Can you tell us a bit about how cerebral palsy came about?
At about 3 hours of age, we kind of found him in a bad state. He wasn't breathing and he didn't have a heartbeat, and he had to be revived. At this stage, Jackson received an injury to his brain. It's an injury which has left him affected in all 4 limbs and severely disabled. So the little guy has had a pretty rough going since the day he was born.
Can you explain cerebral palsy?
Yeah, cerebral palsy is basically brain damage or a brain injury, and it's a brain injury before the age of 3. So, I mean, 80% of cerebral palsy happens when the baby's developing in utero, and the other 20% happens around the time of birth or near after. There's one child born every 15 hours, so it's about 300 and something each year. They say it's 1 in every 1,000 births it can happen, but the symptoms are they vary so much. With his kind of injury, cerebral palsy, it's mainly movement that's affected. The injury in Jackson's brain is in a place called the basal ganglia, which is the area of the brain that controls movement. The outside, the thinking part of his brain is unaffected. So Jackson's main issue is based around movement. He's a working brain in a non-working body.
Can you explain a typical week with Jackson?
Oh, Jacko, a week with Jacko is a pretty kind of intense experience. I mean, simply last year we had 250, go stand up Jacko,
Wow.
Awesome.
Well done.
Hey! Drop the bomb, drop the bomb, oh, Jacko. So yeah, Jackson last year had 253 specialist medical appointments, anything from paediatricians to neurologists to orthotists, physiotherapists. He does hydro programs, speech lessons. There's a whole range of appointments that Jackson meets, along with just normal stuff for a 3-year-old, like trying to go to kindy and do forward rolls on the picnic rug. But no, he's got kindergarten and conductive education classes, and then there's time you've just got to make for Jackson to be a normal 3-year-old and play and play dates and stuff that 3-year-olds just like to do.
And is there any particular treatment that's you think worked better than the others?
Specifically treatment-wise, I mean, from an early age we knew Jackson had a brain injury, so I guess early intervention, starting immediately while the brain is still, they say, kind of plastic and can be, retrained to do all the things that he couldn't do. So physio, I think hydrotherapy was always something Jackson always enjoyed, being in the water.
That's good.
So it played a big part kind of in Jackson's rehabilitation. And we also found a therapist who applied a physiotherapy technique called Voiter therapy, which was basically core strength training for Jackson and teaching him basic movement patterns. And more recently, we've taken on a program with a bunch of New Zealand therapists where we do neurodevelopment Jackson, and that means we're retraining Jackson to do all the things he missed on his way to standing up, like crawling and commandoing and rolling.
So you have Ma and
yeah, we've got
Pop?
Grandma on Team Jacko,
Yes.
and we've got Poppy on Team
Poppy.
Jacko,
Yeah.
and myself and obviously Jackson make up our team, and we've been working with Jackson since he was very, very young.
And can you tell us a bit more about Walk, Talk, Fly?
Walk, Talk, Fly is Jackson's 35 godfathers.
Whoa!
And And Walk, Talk, Fly has been set up to help Jackson, and the specialist treatment that's made a difference for Jackson. We couldn't have got that without the help of these guys and the funds raised and the generosity of the community.
Have you found Wahroonga to be quite a good place to be raising Jackson?
Yeah, well, growing up in Wahroonga, I grew up here. The family home's been here for 38 years. And when Jackson was young, we were lucky enough that my parents, we all took on the responsibility of kind of getting Jackson to where he is. So we're lucky, really, that we've ended up here in the community. I mean, if Jackson can make relationships with people in the community, make friends that join him through his journey, I think that'd be the greatest thing for this little man.
Yeah.
They can all hang out down the park with you, Jackson, can't they?
Right into the sunset.
See you later.
Bye, Jackson. Just what are some of the main challenges that you...
With Jackson, it's obviously emotional, and the rest of that goes along with kind of the daily stresses of raising a child with a disability. Financial burden is a big issue with Jackson, and it's the ongoing cost year after year that needs to be met to keep Jackson at such a high level of care. And now we're faced with housing him and building him a purpose-built kind of environment for independent future for him. I mean, I knew nothing about disability before Jackson came along. I've really had to kind of accept Jackson for who he is, and then never giving up.
Yes.
And always believing in a miracle, and just believing you can do it.
Yep.
Never give up.
Yep.
That's my tip.
Where has that determination come from?
When I look at Jackson, you can see how motivated he is. You can see the determination. I don't want to ever look back and think I shouldn't have done or couldn't have done something. I only want to go forward knowing I've done everything.
Having to learn to be a parent and about cerebral palsy, where did you get, the motivation to just be able to...
When I think about questions like that, I think Jackson, there's no other option, there's no other choice. It didn't come with a plan B.
So he's taught you a lot. And
he teaches me so much. I mean, I was up at the local school here the other day and they were asking about sign language. So, have you taught Jackson sign language? And he's pretty much teaching me sign language. He's taught me so many things about life. It's, it's hard to look back and think what life was like before Jackson. It's changed so much, but I think it's just how it is.
Yeah. Has that been a surprise to you, looking back and comparing?
I try not to look back too much. Yeah. I mean, it's been such change, but that's just life.
Yeah.
That's just Jackson and I, and I'd hate to think if Jackson wasn't here now.
What has Walk, Talk, Fly achieved so far, then?
Walk, Talk, Fly has basically stepped in and raised enough money to help Jackson through his therapy for the next 3 years.
Wow.
And he's got a pretty heavy burden of financially and physically of therapy. But honestly, we can say that it's helping him. I mean, we're so lucky that we're in a position that we can see the applied therapies are they're paying off, and the early intervention, it does mean the world for Jackson and the future for him. It's changed his life dramatically. So Walk, Talk, Fly have done an amazing thing, and all the people who donated and were very generous towards Walk, Talk, Fly, I mean, they should be really proud of themselves as well, because they've helped in a miracle.
And defying the odds, it gives hope to other people in similar situations.
Yeah, I didn't really think about how Jackson's journey would affect others. Now I understand there's a real responsibility about telling our story, and the responsibility that goes along with that is also letting other people know about how we got to where we got. and I'm hoping that, you know, that we can all, I mean, cerebral palsy becomes something that we want to give attention to and address and help these kids, because it just changes their lives. They are people, some of them are trapped brains in great places, and they need help just like everyone else.
And people can read more about that on Walk.
Yeah, they can follow Jackson. He's got a website, Walk Talk Fly, where they can donate, or they can follow him on Facebook at facebook.com/Walk Talk Fly. He also has a Twitter account now, Jacko and Dad, I think, at Walk Talk Fly. And he also has a little channel on YouTube where you can catch Jackson doing his day-to-day things. So there's a fair few places you can follow Jackson. And I always try to meet up with the people who get behind Jackson. So there are some really special people across the country who have become part of Jackson's life. So yeah, it makes the journey a lot easier.
I'm sure it does.
With nice people around. Everything I've done is for Jackson, and one day he might watch this, and I like to say it's for him. Jacko, I've done everything for you, little buddy.
Yeah.
Yep, you're my mate, little man. I love you heaps.